All right. Good evening and welcome to this special broadcast which is brought to you by Government Communication and Information System around what is the office mandate and responsibility to Setjhaba sa Afrika Borwa, and also what are some of the services offered by this office and how does one go about accessing the services. So stay with us and also engage us on 0800 142 446. 0800 142 446 is the number. We are also on social media. We are active as we speak right now. On Facebook, we are the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. And on Twitter, we are at DOJCD_ZA. Welcome to this. And let me introduce my guest tonight, who is the Chief Family Advocate, Gay Advocate Petunia Seabi-Mathope, who comes from the Office of the Family Advocate, responsible for parents' rights and responsibilities. Welcome, Mayor, and good evening, and thanks very much for joining us tonight. Mayor Petunia, who is telling us and getting us through the paces about the families who assist parents and parties, as she has already said. So, based on your understanding, please join us in this engagement. You can call 2446 is the number to dial, or by sending questions or your comments as well on Facebook. It is the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, and also on Twitter it is at DOJC.
A child has got a right to have a relationship with both its parents, and a child has got a right to be taken care of and provided for with the whole list of creature comforts by both its parents. Then, you know, when parents fight, they also need to understand that, you know, we are trampling on these rights of the child. Another move that we have made is to make litigation the first line of defense. The Children's Act in Section 6 says court litigation should be the last line of very popular now in the way we resolve disputes. We should try to negotiate and talk around issues and resolve matters. Because in the beginning, when I in one of my opening statements, I did mention the journey that parents have to make. Now, if you litigate and fight with each other and the relationship becomes so compromised or so polarized that you do not see eye to eye, you are going to be needing court orders, for just about everything. And let me share this with you. You know, we have seen 3-year-olds in respect of whom the court had issued up to 14 court orders. A child that has been around for 36 months has had to, the parents have had to get 14 court orders to regulate how they are raising the child. Now, you can imagine now for the next 15 years when this child becomes an adult at 18, or, you know, it's a messed up child completely because, you know, the only life they know is conflict. Then the parents can litigate in certain matters where they are not agreed. It should be the last resort. Because, as they say with rights, your rights stops where the next child.
All right, that's Advocate Petunia Seabi-Mathope, who is talking to us about the responsibility of the family advocate. Advocate, let me take some few calls. I got Tulani Aseri on the line, and I'm going to start with Tulani. Tulani? Talk to me, Tulani.
Oh, greetings to all of you. I have 3 questions. Parents fail to do the equal parenting. What will be the disadvantages to the children? That is the first one. The second one is on equal parenting. Where can we go? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much, Tulani online. And then we move on to Aseri, who's listening from Capital Life. Aseri?
Yes, Mr. Musutu Stone, how are you, brother?
I'm very well. How are you doing, Aseri?
I'm good, and good evening to the advocate there. I just want to quickly check here. I have two. The first question, I just want to check, is the Family Advocate Office operating during level 2 of the lockdown? Then, number two, I want to check here, if parents have a parental plan and one, either the father or the mother, is not following what is being agreed upon on that parental plan. For example, if the child is with the mother or if the child is with the father, what can one do in that situation? Can one go back to the family advocate, or is there any other avenue that one can go to? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so very much, Aseri. Aseri is listening to Capital Live based here in Pretoria. And I'm going again to one last caller before I give Advocate a chance to respond. Usupile from Kleckstorp. Usupile?
Hello.
How are you doing, ma?
I'm still holding.
All right. Your comment, your question?
Okay. I'm a co-parent with primary custody. My children are young adults and they are students. So my question is, in the event of a co-parent not delivering on the agreed terms, what refuge do you have? Because it caused huge dissonance asking for help from the court. But in lockdown, it puts tremendous strain on me as the only active and caring parent of young adults in going through all the growth pains of a young adult who with a tremendous strain of lack of financial support from the co-parent.
Okay, is that all, Usupile? Oh, yeah, that is Anne, actually. Thank you so very much, Anne. All right. Advocate, your chance.
Okay, I'll start with the operation during the lockdown period question. The offices of the family advocate have remained operational from level 5 and continue to do so. We are fully operational because matters of child protection have been classified as matters warranting priority. So we cannot close down during lockdown. Right, and then there are two questions from Asiri and I think it was N, the last caller, which parental plan. You are welcome to return to the family advocate to review that parenting plan and see why it is not being adhered to. And if it is an issue that can be resolved around the table, then the family advocate will assist you to resolve it and come up with a new parenting plan. But some parents maybe can just not be able to stick to the agreement of their own doing. Then you can approach the children's court in your area to have the parenting plan made into a court order. Then when it becomes a court order, when there is non-adherence, then you can go to a number of enforcement mechanisms. Section 35 of the Children's Act provides for non-adherence as a criminal offense that can attract up to a year's imprisonment. So you can lay a charge, and then there is also a civil enforcement method which you can bring an application to the court to obtain an order that compels that other parent to adhere to the terms of the parenting plan or court order.
Mhm.
Right. And then there was a question about information on equal parenting, or what should parents do. We have the social Department of Social Development, which has got quite a number of programs for families. And we have organizations such as the Family Life Association, FAMSA, who have got actual courses that parents can go to for parental guidance and parental counseling if
Mhm.
there are difficult areas that the parents are coming up on.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just checking if there is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've covered all the questions. Yes.
All right. Thank you so very much, Advocate, for all those questions. You can still talk to us on 0800 142 446. 0800 142 446. We got about a good 30 minutes to the end of the program. And your comments, your concerns, your questions are welcome. 0800 142 446. 0800 142 446. And I have not seen anything as yet from the social media, but I hope I will be getting something in a short space of time. But in the meantime, let's talk about. I heard you advocate talking about making a parenting plan, and probably to
Yes.
one person it would be like, "Yo, kibuka into how much is it?"
Our services are completely free
Ah,
because we are a unit within the Justice Department.
mm-hmm,
So the people can just approach us to make an appointment for the assistance with the generation of a parenting plan.
mm-hmm,
But maybe whilst I have not touched on with the services that we render, which is also important, is the world has become a global village now. There
mm-hmm,
is a service that we also render in terms of the international child abduction.
mm-hmm,
Much as in South African law, parental abduction is not per se on its own a criminal offense, but
mm-hmm,
we can assist parents where a child is taken to a country which is on the list of countries that we have contracted with. We can assist them to either secure the return of that child to South Africa, or we can assist them to secure meaningful contact with their child. But it must be a country that we are contracted with. And maybe I should mention that most of the African countries have
mm-hmm.
not signed up yet. We only have Lesotho, Morocco, and Zambia that have
Yes.
signed up. Yeah, yeah.
Is South Africa part of that as
Mostly,
well as you are speaking right now? Is South Africa part of
yes.
it as well?
South Africa has been part of it since 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we unfortunately, our immediate neighbors have not yet signed, but most of the European countries and the Americas and so on have signed. So if your child finds themselves there, there is a lot of professionals traveling between South Africa and England and
Mm-hmm.
Australia and Canada and so on. Those we have signed with, we can assist.
All right. Let's go on to our callers now. And on the line, I'm going to start with Anonymous, Noni from Cape Town. Hello, Noni.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, good evening, sir.
All right.
Fine,
Your
and you?
question, comment?
Firstly, let me take the opportunity to say thank you very much for a most informative program. I acknowledge the issue of access to justice for all people in South Africa. However, what I'd like to address is the issue when there's an abuse of this justice. I would like to relay my personal experience. The father of my children took me to the family advocate for precisely the issue of a family plan. The issue of the family plan was copiously discussed with the family advocate, myself, as well as the father, and a draft agreement was then put in place, one of which both of us then needed to sign. The father reneged in signing the agreement because he had an issue with the maintenance. The family advocate followed up with him on several occasions, indicating if the family plan is not signed, there comes a time where she then has to come and close the file. The file was subsequently closed because of the lack of the father signing the plan. It came to my absolute surprise when I received a call from the children's court several months ago to say that I needed to appear for this exact same matter. So for me, a person who is able to understand the process, who has access to electronics like email, internet, etc., the fact that I can get into my car, the fact that I can take off from work to attend these matters, what I'm talking for is the woman sitting out there who is not privy to into the children's court, where I made it very clear that this matter had been in front of the family advocate again, and we were then sent to mediation. I think the danger of these things is when it comes to a situation where men want to use these means of justice to be compliant with every means that this person has used against me. And now where we're sitting is where there is a demand for a social worker to become involved. And my question is just this. When it comes to spiting the party who is compliant, at the end of the day, the child suffers. So my question would be, what is the recourse in a situation like this? In terms of maintenance, the person was also not honorable and honest in terms of the earnings, in terms of the income and the expenses, and they got off in that way as well. So I'm not only making this call for myself because I feel I'm a woman that has a voice and is able to talk, but I also would like to make this call for the thousands of women, the voiceless women, the women that are silenced because they necessarily don't have the means. So I would really appreciate an answer to what is the recourse for parents that use the system to the disadvantage of the family that it affects at the end of the day. And they are not the people who are not obliging, who are not complying, but the system is actually used in a punitive measure. It was very scary for me when the advocate mentioned the fact that if a court order is in place in terms of a family plan and my child then decides that I would sincerely appreciate a response to this question. Thank you so much, and thank you for the informative program. Thank you very much.
All right. Rata is actually laughing at my coining of anonymous as Noni, but it's okay. We have Noni here in the office. It's all good. But anyway, Matebesi, phone now leko bojana labu.
Liga in the stone, yes, Matebesi, I'm listening through Bojanala FM in Rustenburg.
Right to Merakenta Matebesi Rahamohe.
I've got just a comment or a question to advocate, and that would be to the fathers who are absent in their children's lives. Except through maintenance, are there other ways, or is there a possible other way that can be used to force these fathers to be part of the children's lives? I'll give an example, advocate. You'll find it that a child misses their father so much, and their father just never visits or never does anything to contribute into the child's life, and the children are longing to have that relationship with their fathers.
Yes, hello.
Hi, can I?
Yes, your question or your comment, please.
Okay, it's a comment and a question at the same time. I was driving and I just bumped on the program and I started listening as I parked at home. I'm listening on in the car, Rainbow FM.
Yes,
what I want to know is, what if when you are staying with adult children, where the other parent totally is not part of it's not there
if you
for
can
them.
just lower the volume of your radio in the car, and
must
also
I take it
Regina,
off?
you'll be able to focus on what you're trying to say to us.
Okay, I'll just switch the radio off. What I'm saying is,
All right.
I'm in a situation where I'm staying with 2 adult children, of which, if I may call it, their father is not really part of their, should I say, well-being. Okay, I'm the only one who's working. He's at home, almost a pensioner. But we spend 99% of our life not talking to each other as parents. And we're staying with those children. And it has become a normal issue. And these poor children also are trying, or struggling to make it normal, because we are here, we're staying together, and so on. And it hurts me so much, because I feel this is injustice to the children, to subject them to this kind of relationship of 2 parents not having conversational relationship. I tried to address it, and with no success. For us to just keep peace is when we don't talk, because when I start talking, I'm met with rage, and it's not. It's also. I just tended to. I like.
Okay.
And well, I'm a breadwinner. I don't mind, because God gave me put me in a position that I can afford, and I don't really mind maintaining the home. But the important thing is the environment our children are staying in. While they are struggling, also they're not working well. It's a 30-year-old daughter and a 23-year-old son. So we are at home, all of us. So it's just a situation that is not right for them. But as I say, I'm helpless. At one stage, I phoned thinking I'm calling a psychologist, because I took the number from Rainbow FM. But I found myself talking to a social worker. She was just on my case, like, being a woman of God, fasting, praying, and praying with the wrong spirit, and with those children for so many years. It's almost more than 10 years that this situation has been like this. So she actually advised me to phone POA, which I did. Then POA called us at home. It was just beginning of lockdown. And I actually wanted to go out, to leave the house, because of what was happening. And because I couldn't take it anymore, not to be reached. I left it, and life went on. But I really feel bad to live in a situation like this when I'm a believer. Well, unfortunately, he's not. And our poor children are subjected to this environment. And they also have nothing to say but to accept it as normal. So if I can be helped on that one.
All right. Thank you. So is that all?
This?
Yes, please.
Can I add this? My son last year was involved in an accident with his father's car, which was a write-off last year, August. So just Saturday, my children, I'm busy studying because I've got a tight schedule to submit, whatever. My children come to me and say, there was a call at the gate, and then apparently it was a sheriff or whatever delivering a sermon for my son. They tell me afterwards. And apparently their father also answered to the gate, went there. But when he realized it was there, he just turned back and went back to the house. And they come to me and say, well, their father is a coward. That's how they put it through. Because of that, what they saw and what happened. Anyway, they are used to that. He's a hands-off and not involved in many issues at home. So I really need help because I cannot take it as normal anymore.
All right. But you have given the gentleman full access with no bars, no terms and conditions, right, Regina?
Say that again?
I'm saying the father has all the access in the world to the kids for parenting and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're staying together. We're at home.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, this gotta be very interesting. Listen on the radio and let's give advocates the chance to respond to all those. Thank you so very much
Okay.
for your contribution, Nasrujana.
Yes, thank you so much to you too. Bye.
All right. Advocate, there is Anonymous from Cape Town, there is Matebesi from Bujanala, and there's also Osrijana who's listening via Rainbow FM.
Thank you very much. The question raised by Anonymous involved abuse of the system.
Mm.
You know, we all know from a very young age that we should not steal. But as you will find people that steal. You know, I want to draw that analogy with regard to abusing the system. You find women that are abusing the domestic violence courts that will use a protection order to try and prevent another parent from exercising contact by making unwarranted claims in the domestic violence. Unfortunately, you know, the area of family law is so close to people's lives that these things happen. You know, it's very tied to people's private lives. But normally, what you know, people should do in this instance, these things are fueled by conflict, or you know, wanting to work the one parent out of the lives of the children and so on. The best remedy is for them to get counseling. The counselors can provide professional support and assistance, uh, and guide parents how to regulate their relationships with each other. But you know, there is no foolproof system that people will not abuse the system. And the other thing is forum shopping. When a parent is set in the outcome that they desire, and they are not open to other solutions, they will come to the family advocate. If family advocate doesn't give them what they like, they will move on to court, this particular court and the next particular court, hoping to find a solution, an outcome which they desire. Little do they forget the damage that they are causing to the child's life. Then Ntate Matebesi mentioned if there is a recourse to fathers that do not get involved in their children's lives. You know, back in 1999, we had a, and the court, yeah, that is one of the leading decisions that we have in the country. You know, the court looked at it from a number of angles and concluded that, you know, there is no practical way of enforcing affection. The father either has to want to see the child or be left alone. What we can enforce is the right of the child to become maintained. So somebody that does not want to have a relationship with a child, similar to you know, trying to force someone to receive medical treatment, or so, those kinds of therapy, for instance. It's not an easy thing to do, because even if you can write it in the best court order, you know, there is no forcing someone to do that. So we will enforce the child's right to financial support. Right. And then, yeah, the last question came from Sis Regina, about the continued conflict with her partner or ex-partner and the adult children that are in the house. I wonder if they would also be open for counseling, because it sounds like, you know, there are deep unresolved issues between her, the partner, and maybe even the partner and the children and so on. I think maybe they would do well to.
Are we still back on?
relational issues that have to.
Okay. Oh, we are connected indeed.
Can I continue?
And yes, please continue. Sorry about that, advocate. We were just going through some bit of technical difficulty here. All right, you can continue, ma.
Yeah. Just in conclusion, I just want to urge parents that are not able to see eye to eye, instead of letting the damage fester, and have a negative impact on the child's life, rather seek a professional intervention. It is available. Social workers can assist you, psychologists can assist you, some spiritual leaders or religious leaders are trained in counseling. They should assist, because the first part is to deal with those issues that are tearing the relationship apart, so that parents can relate on a normal level, and then start working together to raise their children.
All right. 0800 142 446, 0800 142 446. That's the number to dial if you want to be speaking to us. Let me, Angie is still there from Free State. Hello, Angie, and please be short, as we are definitely need to give two more people a chance to speak to the advocate. Your chance now, Angie.
Thank you. I'll be short.
Please.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
All right, you can go on, ma.
Okay, advocate, thank you. Good evening, advocate. You are talking to Angie Kobu.
Good evening, ma'am.
I've studied at Stellenbosch University. I am so thrilled to speak to you today. And I think that is a divine connection. I don't want to consume much time. I'm mobilizing youth. I'm a professional nurse. I'm an NGO manager. I went to presidency 2017 in March. It was 10:30 when I met a Homoto, the PA to the president, with a portfolio of my evidence that I want to inject my knowledge to youth. I'm dealing with teenage pregnancy. There are a lot of troubles, and there are a lot of problems. So I don't want to consume much time. Do you have offices in Pretoria where I can come personally with my portfolio of evidence, and maybe we can connect? Because there are a lot of people that want to speak to you now. I'm not the only one. We all have problems. It's a disaster in South Africa, actually. So do you have an office name where maybe I can come, we make an appointment with you so that we can chat?
Okay. Is that all,
Yes.
Osenji?
Yes, I think it's all for to give other people a chance in that game.
Yes. All right. Thank you so very much. Quickly moving on to Matau. Eric. Are we Eric?
Good evening to you. Because of time, I just want to ask, can the grandparents of my child receive me to see my child, or go to them and check them for a weekend or for a week due to holidays and so forth? You can to let me see my child, or pay which I will take it to my own home. What should I do when I come across such situations? Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Eric. And quickly, the last caller from Western Cape in George, Mr. Mafa. Good evening to you. Mr. Mafa, as you can hear, he just dropped it right there and there. Okay, advocate, your chance now.
Okay. The answer to OSNG's question, yes, we do have offices in Pretoria. My office specifically is situated in the headquarters of the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. We are at number 329 Pretoria Street. You can call me on 012 357 8022 to make an appointment. or if seeing us through our office in Bloemfontein, our manager at the Bloemfontein office, we are in the Sanlam building on the 3rd floor. And then Abut Eriki, I didn't hear most of what he was saying, but I think he was talking about refusal of contact.
Yes, and also
I think
particularly he was making an example of saying during school holidays he wants to spend time with the kids, and most of the time he seems to be having difficulty in arranging that particular kind of access, and it seems to be an ongoing thing which he's not sure how to go about it anymore.
Okay. Yeah. It would depend on whether he and the mother were married. Then there would be a divorce order which sets out his rights, and if those the rights in terms of the court order are being violated, he can bring a criminal charge in terms of Section 35 of the Children's Act, or he can do civil enforcement of those rights. If there is no court order in place, or maybe there is no document structuring his contact rights, he can approach the Office of the Family Advocate nearest to him and ask them to do a parenting plan, or maybe start with an unwed father's application for the determination that he has got parental responsibilities and rights. And then once that determination is made, we can assist him with a parenting plan. That is, if there is nothing regulating the plan. But I also maybe need to mention that the age of the child and his relationship with the child will play a major role in determining how often he should see the child. Maybe the contact would need to be phased in if the child is not used to being with him for prolonged periods of time, also depending on the age of the child. The social worker will look into all the relevant data and then maybe assist the parents how best to exercise the contact.
All right, the last one is from Basimani. Bravasco. Bravas.
Morena so.
Le kae abuti?
Ke go kae ba mputwa?
Ke a go utlwa sentle tota rra. Le advocate ke I believe she can hear you.
My question is, what are the factors that the court takes into consideration when deciding which parent should stay with the child or should keep the child? That's my question.
Okay, is that all?
Yeah, I just wanted to be brief because we are running out of time.
All right, thank you so very much. Basi is calling from listening to Mafisa FM. Advocate, your response and your last comments to that effect.
He's asking what are the factors that the court take into account.
Yes.
But I said the best interest of the child are protected by the Constitution as being of paramount importance. So primarily when the determination is made, we look more at the child and the child's needs and the child's developmental stage rather than looking at the parents. Once we have established what the needs of the child are in terms of where the child is at the time that the determination is being made, then we will look at which parent is best suited to meet most of the child's needs. Firstly, the ability of the parent to relate to the child is important. The ability to provide creature comforts such as housing and physical care and all those range of physical needs that the child has got will be another factor. Depending on the developmental stage of the child, sometimes the gender identity with the one parent would be seen to be playing a more important role then that will be considered. But and previous relation, the history of the matter, how each of the parents have been relating with the child historically. If, for instance, he has got access to the Children's Act, the whole list of those considerations are set out in Section 7. Or he can just maybe Google, if he's able to, Section 7 of the Children's Act 38 of 2005. Then the whole list is there.
All right. And lastly, just to repeat all those contacts that you have that people can actually keep in touch with you on. Advocate?
The numbers for the different offices of the family advocate are available on the website of the Department of Justice.
All right.
You can get them, and the email addresses. And if you do not have access to that, you can call us on 012-357-8021. We are the head office, and then we can direct you to the service office closest to where you are.
All right. This is the Chief Family Advocate in the Office of the Family Advocate, of the Family Advocate, Advocate Petunia Seabi-Mathope, who has been taking us through some of the information that could be of use to you, Ole Molaleli Ekaya, Kapa Ole Mohedimo, social media. And let me repeat all those other contacts. The Chief Family Advocate Office is accessible on 012-357-8022. 012-357-8022. And then the email at the National Office / FA. Actually, it's a National Office -FA at justice.gov.za. And if you want to go at their offices, you can go to 329 Pretoria Street, Momentum Building, the West Tower, here in Pretoria. From me, Mosotho Stone, Rialeboga so very much. Remember that some of these main things about equal parenting is important due to the following. Children in shared parenting maintain regular contact with both their mother and father, and they have access to both mom and dad at all times, and they feel important to their family as well. Co-parenting provides an environment for the continuation of development of high quality parent-child relationships, allowing both parents to remain authoritative, responsible, involved, attached, emotionally available, supportive, and focused on the children's day-to-day lives. So be good